Our next up will be our C, here you are, C and B Kitchen. If you need help creating immaculate croissants bread for your franchise, your store.
So you all may have seen some of our bread products in the back. I'm Chrissy Traore, representing C&B Kitchen. I'm here today with my husband. We make old world style handmade sourdough bread and pastries. We came all the way 2.5 hours south from the Catskills, a little town called Cairo. My husband and I have been in the food industry for over 20 years. He has worked on making bread on scale. He was the head of viennoiserie at Bien Cuit. He started off at 3-star Michelin restaurants, where he then learned bread. I've worked at Digitas in brand strategy, and I've also written the chef and training programs for the Dough Fund, as well as being a chef and business entrepreneur. And we're living our dream, right? We're upstate in the woods. We love it. We bake bread. It's super awesome. And what we make is bread and croissants. Really simple. We don't try to expand beyond that. But it's important what we do. It's long, slow fermentation sourdoughs. So our least amount of fermentation is 24 hours, and we go up to 72 hours. So we can't rush it. This is slow food, right? And we use local grains, dairy, and farmer partners. And it's important who we're working with. We say we make real food by real people. Our bread passes through 5 hands before it moves out the door. So we have a rapid training program to get people that otherwise don't have the opportunity into a trade craft. We have an average 2.5-year employee retention, so our staff stays with us. And they've helped us to build this excellent company culture. People line up to come work for us. And we believe that when we develop a strong team committed to making an excellent in-demand product, we're bound for success. And the business has shown that. Year to date, every year, our business has grown organically with no marketing spend, 24%. Last year, we realized over $1 million in sales. Most of that wholesale, in the woods, okay? I can't emphasize that enough. But you see, we're starting to plateau a little bit, okay? Now, we've bootstrapped our operations to date. We've been self-funded. We've gotten some family and friends raised. But we haven't really, we've grown our capacity, we've invested in our space over and over and over again to meet the demand, but we got this impressive $1 million in annual revenue. And we've tapped out our market. There's no one left to sell bread to upstate, very few. It's slowing down. So how do we continue to grow? What do we do? This landscape has 2 kinds of businesses. We have a small artisan bakery right here at the bottom, right? Average $400,000. And then we have these big bakeries over here with the B's, right? Billions of dollars. And there's this big lack in the middle. So do we move to machine-made production? Is that the next step? Well, we don't want dough conditioners, we don't want preservatives, we don't want to take our hands off. We think it's wasteful and it has a high investment. So instead, we're going to franchise our business. We're going to take what we've learned, what we've grown, and what we've done really successfully, and we're going to help other bakers to do that, while focusing on the communities that they're servicing. So this is a ready-for-you wholesale artisan bakery. Proprietary flour mixes, our own production software, sales strategy, seated accounts, do-it-yourself distribution for each location, accounting and finance work, HR and talent management, and every baker loves what they do and they're proud of their product. So our promise is the product, not the place. We want them to have a unique look and feel for themselves. Think of us like Ace Hardware, right? Everyone is different. So just imagine a unique storefront, Joe's Bakery, a C&B Kitchen. They have all of our support, but it ties into their community directly. On the back end, we're going to have a robust program, and that's where we get really scalable, with wholesale production, packing, and delivery being standardized across all the businesses. Lots of advantages to this. I'm going to rush a little bit. We already have interest in these 4 areas right around where we're currently located, and we're looking to expand to 18 franchisees in the first 4 years in these target markets through our innovative B School. Get it? We're punning. So it's all about the bakers, really. We want to scale up the process. We want to grow sustainably, responsibly, and profitably. In the first 4 years, we'll see that these businesses should be able to do close to $4 million, and we'll be able to receive about $460,000 based on the initial franchise fee and the $5 ongoing royalties. We're poised for success, and we're going there no matter what. What we're looking for is $150,000 to scale faster. So this will help us get from where we are now to opening more franchisees quicker. Thank you.
Would you just, I like the idea a lot. Would you mind sharing a little bit more about how the franchisee model works, the upfront fee to a bakery and also the ongoing fees? Because it's a low margin business to begin with, so like how do you sort of conceptualize if I'm starting a bakery?
Absolutely. So we built as a wholesale bakery first, and we built our margins on our wholesale. So we wholesale a loaf of bread for $7.50. We don't retail it at that price. So we make money through the wholesale. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is it's $35,000 to open a franchise and 5% of ongoing revenue.
Just to clarify though, you wouldn't be selling your wholesale bread to the bakery, they would be baking it themselves.
Absolutely. So it's about training, it's about giving them the autonomy so that they can train their staff, and we will provide a proprietary flour premix so that we can maintain quality and consistency.
Cool, thank you.
You're welcome.
So what's the estimated timeline for like a franchisee to get up and running and train and bake and maintain the quality standards that you have?
Yeah, so it's about 4 to 6 months from the sign-on date, because obviously they'll need to lease a space and build it out. The ovens that you bake with take a good 2 months just to order. So while that space is being built and the ovens are on order, they'll be in the training center learning and getting up to speed on running their business, training staff, HR, financials, and baking.
Would they be a retail bakery as opposed to wholesale? Or
No,
both?
they're going to be both, but wholesale focused. So 75% of our business is wholesale, and that's the differentiation. We'll be the first wholesale franchise.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Where are you in the franchising process, or becoming a franchisor?
Yeah, so our FDD is completed. We're finishing our financial audit of the opening balance sheet, which is the last hurdle, and we'll be opening the franchise in 2025. Q1. What other questions?
You said you were raising, on the last slide, you were raising for packaging. Can you, inventory of packaging, is that for the franchisees or like what is?
Yeah, so a combination both. So we're producing an incredibly perishable product. So it's produced and within 24 hours it needs to be out the door. So the way that it's stored and packaged is really important to preserving its shelf life, since there's no dough conditioners or preservatives. So what we'd like to do is invest more in packaging, and we'd like to bulk purchase packaging. So right now we, buy ad hoc as needed, and we'd like to seed our franchisees with packaging out of the gate.
You had a slide about the kind of geographic spread of potential franchises.
Yeah.
Is that like a required part of your strategy, or could a franchisee, like, do you see them like in California and coming and doing the program here and then going back there or something like that?
Yeah, we do see it growing, but I think the growth needs to be strategic and thoughtful. And since we're going to be running a distribution center, part of that inventory and packaging is also co-packing. So co-packing our premix. If we have the investment, we're able to get there faster. So then we're not co-packing our own premix, and then we can scale further away quicker.
Where do you expect the interest to come from? Bakeries that already exist that want to change up their back of house, new bakeries, and do you have customers sort of lined up to be initial franchisees?
Yeah, so we are deeply entrenched in the baking community, And what we see is a lot of cottage bakers or home bakers who are baking 1 loaf, 10 loaves. They're at their local farmer's market and all their friends are going, you should open a store. Well, that's great, but how does that store translate into something sustainable and profitable? And we think that we can help them to do that, and they're taking a lower risk because they've got all the support behind it. And their success is our success.
What's the AUV, or what's the sales expected for a franchisee when they're up and running?
In their first year, 120,000, and then it expands from there. And we forecasted that out at 800,000 for the top, but obviously they can blow through that. But we've tried to be really conservative on our projections. Thank you. And we have lots of bread and croissants, so if anyone wants to come have a taste, come meet us in the back at the end.